You by Sure.
Just coming up to 7:45 now on Manx Radio TT. Very good Thursday morning to you. Morning to Beth SB.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, hi, fair to middling, as we say over here.
Good,
We're all right. Joined around the table this morning by the Reverend Canon John Caldwell, who is in the gear today.
Well, you say that.
Oh.
I think he's half fulfilled the brief. We were expecting Cassock, and we haven't got Cassock.
No.
Why?
No.
It flapped about too much on the scooter.
You could have strapped
But that's
it in.
the whole point, isn't it?
We'll try tomorrow, shall we?
Yes,
Well,
please.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to be.
Final day, fancy dress.
You don't want to see this disappointed face again, do
I
you?
think you and Andy should swap. Andy should come in the God Squad gear, and you should come in the Police Squad gear.
Hey,
Don't you-
That's a good idea. Yeah,
Can you say
yeah.
God Squad gear? I'm not sure you can.
Yes, I can.
You can.
I can say what I want.
Okay.
He gets a special card. You know, like Andy has an ID.
Yeah.
He has like a disco card. When he goes in, he goes to the nightclub, he goes, discount? Discount? Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah, it worked in Father Ted and he got in the
It
cinema.
is, yeah.
Anyway, good morning to you, John. Good morning,
morning.
Andy. How are you, Andy?
Yeah, very good, thanks.
How's the roads been?
Yeah, they've been okay. Obviously, the delays have caused some problems. People obviously getting a little bit frustrated. We've had a bit of a few backlogs waiting for the roads to open. I think on your website yesterday, you obviously showed the gridlock down by Lord Street, and people have just got to be a little bit patient and take consideration for the time.
There's a lot of people calling for it, and this is not me calling for it, if anybody says this, for when the roads are closed here, and obviously everybody's got to use that way to get round, Andy, to get the horse trams off the promenade, because you can get past it in a car, but as soon as you get a van, or even you guys in a police car, if something happened, I mean, how would you go about that? Because people, I know, everybody knows as well, that people don't necessarily see what they think they're seeing when it comes to blue lights in a police car and stuff. They kind of and 10 seconds later, go, oh, but after that 10 seconds, they're already on the back of you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So do you think that might be something that they could look at maybe for next time?
Yeah, they actually did it during TT, if you recall.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
yes.
the horse trams were removed between roads opening times before road closed again. Obviously it's something that we're feedback based on what's occurred, and I mean it's a government decision, so yeah. But it is a good idea. If that's the cause for the tailbacks, then it's something that maybe the government should consider for. Obviously, Grand Prix.
And your officers have been out and about on the road.
Yeah.
How have they found it? Quiet, busy?
Fairly busy. Fairly busy. We've had a few problems this year with regards to UK registered motorbikes with learner plates on them.
Oh.
And we need to get the message out, because a lot of people driving on a learner plate on a UK registration number bike are actually driving without a licence on the Isle of Man.
Okay.
And a couple of people have had their bikes seized from them, and have been given fines for it as well. So we want to get that message out. So, just recently somebody was stopped coming off the boat with an L plate on a UK bike, obviously told they couldn't ride the bike, and we had an incident on the mountain where somebody was stopped on the mountain sort of on L plates, racing their bike, and they had their bike removed from them as well. So
And that was on L plate.
that was L
it?
plates, yeah.
But does it apply to a car as well?
It does, yeah. Any UK L plate, yeah. It's difference in the legislation with regards to the learners.
Okay, all right. Beth, got a question there? Looked
just
like you're poised.
I was poised. I was poised. I was just thinking about what you said about patience, though. That's the key thing to all of this, isn't it? We accept, this motorcycle racing isn't for everybody, and it is something that people feel that they have to put up with. But if we can just be a little bit more patient, you can teach us about patience, can't you?
Yeah, I just listen to that. Accidents happen. And you can't legislate for them, and some of the things that have happened with the access road and other bits of the course have been down to accidents, cars breaking down, setting on fire. How often does that happen, really? But if it's ever going to happen, it's going to happen when you least want it. And these guys and the rest of the emergency services do a great job in dealing with all that. But I think we've just become less intolerable of things. We want to get there quicker. We want to leave later.
People are too impatient, John. That's a problem. You see, I mean, how many times? I mean, I've seen it with people at work. No names mentioned. When the computer won't turn on for come on, need me computer. I'm like, just it'll come on when it comes on. Be patient with it.
Sorry, Alex in the corner, are you pointing at Chris there?
It's not me at all.
You want to see him in the office?
No, it's not me at all.
Yeah, a little bit more. The quality of trade allure
Yes, exactly.
is a wonderful thing to have.
Yeah, and if people don't know what that means, it means time enough in Manx scaling.
It's still there at the end of it, isn't it?
It is.
And we've all got a phone. You know, if you're going to be late for something, pick the phone up. Well, stop at the side of the road and pick the phone up.
Or be hands-free.
Or be hands-free. And just say, actually, I'm just going to be slightly late.
Just watching a bit of BBC Breakfast before I came in this morning. I can't remember that girl, the Geordie girl, what's her name? With the blonde hair who presents it. Anyway, she was on with that. Steph, that's her, Steph and Nagabon check you're on. And they were talking about, well, when I come to work in the morning, I've got my phone on and I'm answering emails and stuff like this. And there's calls for that to be made into part of your working day. So you can turn around to your boss and say, well, I was on my phone on the way to work this morning, so I want that made part of my working day. See what I mean? Everybody has to be worked 24/7.
There's a lot.
Do you get work emails when you? I mean, your work's 24/7 anyway, John. But sometimes when you're away, you think, "Oh God, the emails work."
Do you know the biggest thing is we sort of depend on we want to be loved and liked, and so we keep phones on and we're checking them and everything else. Everything that has an electric supply to it that we use, whether it be battery or mains driven, has an off switch.
Correct.
And I think sometimes we should apply that and just turn it off, talk to each other, communicate with each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many people do you see in a pub?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
texting the person next to them.
Yeah, at
You
a
know.
restaurant. At a restaurant as well.
Actually, putting them away, taking some time out.
Yeah.
Let's get back to what we're here for,
exactly.
to talk to each other and
Exactly.
interact with each
Communicate.
other. And
things like this, the TT and the Alaman Festival of Motorcycling is a case in point. You were saying, I remember you saying this, TT, the different, or was it this time when you were up at Craig Demar or something, the different accents all around the place, coming together, talking motorbikes, talking all sorts of different things.
And you become more perceptive to what's going on around you if you haven't got that in front of you. And I'm the world's worst because there's emails and all sorts of stuff flying in, and my missus will. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She screams at me for having.
Well, me and John spent some time with each other last night over at the newcomers presentation, which was great, well attended, and well done to them all. They all turned up as well, which was absolutely brilliant. And he sat there all night, tap 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 tap.
I did film it.
I know you were filming
I did see that on YouTube.
I did film it because actually seeing the chariot come in.
Oh yes,
that was incredible.
And that tradition that lives on like that is absolutely brilliant. You're just waiting for the spill, aren't you?
Yeah.
As they get carried down.
It's the health and safety police. When they get hold of that, that'd be big bother. Go on, some messages.
Okay, we have got some messages. First of all, Maria's going to make sure that you have your cassock on tomorrow. Technology, though, I know we've been sort of talking about the downsides of it. It has got the upsides as well, because you can be corrected. Steph is a Yorkshire lass, Chris, not Geordie.
She sounds Geordie to me.
And a quick question for you, Andy.
Hang on, whoa. No, she's from Middlesbrough.
That's Yorkshire.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, you'd know that.
Yeah, I would.
Right.
That's not a proper Yorkshire
Right,
person,
bag of hush now. Chris says, when I was first at the TT back in 1965, the Manx police were backed up by the Liverpool police, who are very strict. Does that happen now? I know obviously in TT we get visiting motorcyclists from police forces, but
basically all our resources in the constabulary are Manx officers. We bring over UK registered vehicles purely because that just increases the amount of vehicles we can have on the road. We do have visiting police officers from other countries that help us out in terms of language barriers and stuff, but we don't use any police officers from the UK. In TT we have a group of road safety officers from Lancashire. You see them driving around with their car and their big vans and stuff. This year they were sworn in as special constables purely because we didn't want them driving by something because they were in police uniform and people expect them, you're a police officer, why didn't you stop? So they were sworn in, but invariably since I've been here, which is 2004, it's always been Manx officers.
We used to have German officers coming over on bikes,
right.
didn't we? A good few years ago, and they kind of helped big time with obviously the amount of Germans that still come here now as well. But again, when we've put appeals out for people who can translate to German, we normally get somebody in to give us some information. I can't believe she's from Middlesbrough.
We have
let it go. Let it go. You're all right.
I can't let
You're
it.
okay.
we
Just let
used
it
to
go.
have
I saw the guys coming over on the boat, bringing the extra police vehicles over on the Sea Cat. And you're going to hate this pun, but what a Bobby's job bringing them over.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a thought after job that is to drive over and pick up. Especially when we had the mono. Last
KTM.
year. Yeah. I mean, what a job that was. Who wants to do that?
Yeah, hands up.
But there's so many vehicles adapted for emergency use now, and all doing what they do. But seeing a whole fleet of them stuck up the front of the C-Cat, you know, and everybody's been really cautious, looking around, thinking there's all these police officers on the road. Great.
Well, we are on from 8 o'clock, got the chat show. Lots of ways to get in touch with us this morning. 166 177. Start your message with TT. Email studio@radiott.com, or you can follow us on the Manx Radio TT Facebook and Twitter pages. We are Facebook living. People actually watching now.
Morning.
In 1968, Middlesbrough became part of the county borough of Teesside, and in 1974 it became part of the non-metropolitan county of Cleveland until the country's abolition in 1996, when Middlesbrough became a unitary authority. The town now forms part of North Yorkshire for ceremonial purposes only. Oh.
So it was right, half right then.
Half right, we'll go with half right. Julian says, I may be alone, but I quite like the downtime of sitting in a traffic queue. Let's all take that approach.
Good, just nice and chill.
Yeah.
John, a quick message for this morning, because we've got a minute or so left.
Just pick up straight off the back of that. Yeah. It's a non-race day. The roads aren't closing. People can enjoy being able to drive around freely on the island. Go and see some different places if you're visiting. Just chill out, take some time out. And then we're back to it tomorrow for Senior Race Day.
Okay. So we have the police cars who call police cars. What about your scooter? What's that called? Is that called a God scooter?
No, it says the dark side. It actually says the dark side on it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's got a big sticker on that says the dark side and a cartoon of Darth Vader.
Oh, that's nice.
Unbelievable. Andy, sorry, Andy, just quickly, final message from you, just for obviously today. It's a non-race day, as we all know, but obviously tomorrow, roads closed from 9:30 tomorrow morning. So if you are heading out tomorrow morning, early doors, any message for the guys, girls as well?
Yeah, just give yourself enough time for your journeys. As we've said, you know, use your time in your car, bit of reflection, keep calm, ride safe, drive safe.
Good effort.
Keep calm and carry on.
Keep calm and carry on, John. Yes, that's good. All right, John Caldwell, Reverend Canon John Caldwell, all kitted up for today. Yeah. Good morning to you, and thanks to Andy for coming in from the Isle of Man Police Force. And Beth, thank you. Yeah. Coming up after 9 o'clock, I nearly said then, after 8 o'clock, our guests will be Veronica Hancosi, we've got Daryl Tweed, and also Andy Farrell and Stephen Parsons, all coming into the Manx Radio TT studio. We'll be back after the 8 o'clock weather.